Chapter 5 Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. O God, you are unconquerable to the foes. O Advaita Sachitanand Karunale, relieve this Ganudas of all fears. I am a fallen, a poor, a inner, and without any authority. Thus, I am entirely helpless. But great people often help the poor. Look, Lord Shankar has applied ash to his body. The smallest of the smallest does not degrade the great ones. So with this understanding, let this Ganudas be at your feet. Mother fulfills all desires of her child. I am at your mercy. Do whatever you like, but be kind to me, as all my aspirations depend on you. While at Shegao, hundreds of people started coming to Maharaj for his darshan. His reputation spread far and wide. But Shri Gajanan wanted to keep away from them all, so he used to wander in forests for months without giving anybody any knowledge of his movements. In his wandering, once he came to Peoplegaon. There was a temple of Lord Shiva in the forest near Peoplegaon. Shri Gajanan went there and sat in the Padmasan Mudra. There was a small stream near the temple where cowherds' boys came with their cattle. As the cows were drinking water at the stream, the boys went to the temple for the darshan of Lord Shiva. They saw Shri Gajanan sitting there with closed eyes and were surprised. They used to visit the temple, but never saw anybody sitting there like Shri Gajanan Maharaj. Some of them sat before him, but the saint did not open his eyes nor spoke anything. The boys could not understand the reason of his sitting like this. Maybe, they thought, that he is tired and unable to open his mouth and eyes. Some of them thought it to be hungry, and so they put some bread before him and started moving him. Even then, there was no response from the saint. It was all surprise for them. The boys said that he is not dead since he is in a seating position and his body is warm. Other alternative occurred to them that he might be a ghost. Some, however, argued that a ghost cannot come near Lord Shiva. Then they thought that he must be God from heaven, and with this idea occurring to them, thought themselves to be fortunate to get the darshan of God. So they decided to offer him puja and brought water and flowers, washed his feet, put flowers on his head, and some bread and onions before him as naivedya. They performed bhajans sitting there for some time. In their joy of bhajan, they suddenly remembered that their going home late might create anxiety amongst elders, and the parents even may come out in their search. Moreover, the calves might also be lowing for the mother cows. So they decided to go home immediately and narrated everything about the saint to the elders. Next morning, the villagers came to the temple and saw the saint sitting in the same position without touching the bread that was offered to him the previous day. Some said that he must be a yogi, while others thought that he was Lord Shiva himself, who might have come out of the lingam to give them darshan. They, however, were unanimous at one point that the saint was in deep samadhi and should not be disturbed till he comes out of trance. They remembered that in Bengal, Saint Jalandhar was in samadhi for full 12 months. For full 12 years. Then a palanquin was bought and the saint put in it and brought to Peoplegaon with great fanfare and procession. And on the way, gulal and flowers were scattered on him. After reaching Peoplegaon, he was ceremoniously put on the raised seat in the Lord Hanuman temple. The day also passed, but the yogi did not come out of trance. Next day, the villagers decided to sit in prayers, observing complete fast, till he came out of the trance. And surprisingly, the saint immediately opened his eyes and came out of samadhi. The jubilant villagers prostrated before Shri Gajanan as a mark of respect and offered him sweets and food. The news of Shri Gajanan spread to nearby villages. Next Tuesday, people of Peoplegaon went to Shegao for marketing purposes and incidentally told the people over there that they too have a saint at Peoplegaon who is God incarnate. The news spread in Shegao and reached Bankatlal also, who immediately went to Peoplegaon, where along with his wife and with folded hands said to Sri Maharaj, "You had promised to return soon, but it is now more than a fortnight since you left Shegao. Shegao is lifeless without you, and all are anxious to see you back. I have brought a cart for you, so let us go back to Shegao. It is not good to separate a child from his mother. Because of your absence, many regular visiting devotees might not have taken food. And despite this, if you don't come to Shega, I will kill myself. So Shri Gajanan sat in a cart for going to Shega. At this sight, people of Peoplegaon remembered the occasion when Akrur had come to Gokul to take away Sri Krishna. They thought of Bankatlal as Akrur, who however told them that Sri Gajanan was not going far away as he would stay in Shegaon only, and they could very well go there whenever they liked. Most of the people from Peoplegaon were tenants of Bankatlal, and so were unable to displease him. They helplessly saw the saint go away with Bankatlal. On the way, Shri Maharaj jokingly said to Bankatlal, "It is not proper for a saukar to take away forcibly others' property. Looking to the affairs of your house, I am afraid to come to you. Lakshmi, the mother of the people, and wife of Lord Mahavishnu, and the most powerful deity herself, has been locked by you in your house. Looking to the plight of Jagdamba, I got frightened and so ran away." Hearing that, Bankatlal laughed and said, "Gurunath, the mother was not scared by my locks, but stayed in my house because of your presence there. Mother and child have to stay together. Your feet are the real wealth to me. I do not care about any other wealth. That is why I had come to Peoplegaon in its search. My house is not mine, it belongs to you. How can a watchman obstruct the owner of the house? You may do anything you like. Go anywhere you want and bless the whole world. But do not forget us, the people of Shegaon. Cows go out in the morning, but return home in the evening. That is what you should do for us." Thus Bankatlal brought Shri Gajanan Maharaj to Shegaon. But after some days, Shri Gajanan Maharaj again went away. It so happened that one fine morning, Shri Gajanan left for Adhyay without anybody's knowledge. Like Lord Hanuman, his speed was that of the wind. It was the month of Vaishak, and severe summer had dried up water everywhere. In such a hot noon, Shri Gajanan Maharaj reached Akoli. Perspiring profusely and lips gone dry due to thirst, he looked around for water. At that time, a farmer named Bhaskar was working in his field. Farmer is an important person in the society who gives food to all, bearing all agonies of heat and cold. There was an acute shortage of water around Akoli, so much that one might get ghee, but not water in the area. Bhaskar had bought water for himself in an earthen pitcher and kept it near under a bush. Shri Maharaj came to him and said, "I am thirsty. Give me water and do not say no. As one cannot live without water, it is great punya to give water to the thirsty. That is why rich people in the summer open water booths on highways to quench the thirst of thirsty people." Bhaskar replied, "How can one get punya by giving water to a useless naked man like you? This talk of punya is good only in context with orphans, disabled, or a social worker. Religious books too say the same thing. And it is a sin to give water to sluggish people like you. Will anybody nourish a snake on humanitarian ground or give shelter to a thief in the house? You have become fed by begging from door to door and are a dead bait for society. I have brought the pitcher on my head for me and not for you. I will not give water to you. Go away immediately from here, you rascal. Because of lazy people like you amongst us, we have become useless in the world." Hearing Bhaskar, Sri Maharaj smiled and went away. He saw one well at some distance and went there. Seeing him go to that well, Bhaskar loudly shouted, saying, "Do not go to that well, it is dry. There is no well with water within 2 miles of radius." Maharaj said, "It is true, but I will try to get water in it. When people like you get tormented water, I must do something in the interest of the society. God will help me if my intentions are honest." Saying so, Sri Gajanan went to the well, peeped into it. It was completely dry. In a dejected mood, he sat on a nearby rock under the tree, closed his eyes, meditated for some time, and solemnly implored the Almighty to give water to the village. Sri Maharaj said, "O God, Vamana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Raghava, Vittala, Narashari, the people of Akoli are worried for water. There is not a drop left in any of the wells in the village. All human efforts have failed, so now you must come to their rescue. You can do even impossible things. Panduranga, you have saved cats in the burning furnace. You have appeared out of a pillar to honor the words of Prahlad. Vaishnavara, you have swallowed 12 villages in Gokul. O Murari, you lifted up a mountain on your fingertips. You became a Mahar for the Majipant and did the work of Choka Mahar and protected the birds of Savatamali. You had created water for Namdev in the dry land of Marwar. If you wish, anything can be done. After such an imploration to the Almighty, a powerful spring burst in the well, and in minutes it was full of water. The might of God is unlimited, enabling him to do anything that is desired. Shri Gajanan drank water from the well and quenched his thirst. Bhaskar saw it and could not believe his eyes. He knew that the well contained not a drop of water for the last 12 months, and now it was full of water. How can this be? This means that this man is not an ordinary useless person, but must be a great saint. Bhaskar, realizing his fault, left his field, went running to the temple, and fell at the feet of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. He said, O Godman, kindly pardon me. I am an ignorant child of yours. Please be kind to me. Not knowing your real self, I insulted you. I regret for it now. Please excuse me. Milkmaids at times insulted Lord Krishna, but he never took it seriously. O kind-hearted God, your external appearance has deceived me. By this act of miracle, you have freed me of ignorance and manifested your true self. I now realize your power by this creation of water. I will now never leave your feet, and you as a mother should not desert this child of yours. I have now fully realized that material attachment is unreal, so do not discard me. Shri Gajanan said, don't lament like this. I have created water in this well to save your trouble from bringing water on head from long distances. Then why do you renounce prapanch? This water has come to you. Use it to grow a nice garden. Bhaskar said, Gurudev, don't tempt me like this. My determination itself is a well, and it is absolutely dry without a drop of water in it. Your miracle was an explosive, which broke the rock inside the well, and out came a fine spring of faith. With that water, now I will grow a garden of deep devotion to you. By your kind blessings, I will plant the fruit trees of good morrow and flower plants of good deeds everywhere. I will do away with all momentary attachments of the worldly property. Look, O listeners, what a transformation has taken place in Bhaskar's attitude with the brief association of a saint. Darshan of a real saint is unique in nature, which has been narrated in detail by Saint Tukaram in his hymns. Read those hymns, meditate over it, and experience the truth in your own interest. The news of creating water in a dry well spread like wildfire, and people, like flies rushing to honey or ants running after sugar, came for the darshan of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. They went to the well, drank water, and quenched their thirst. The water was clean, cold, tasty, and more sweet than nectar. People cheered Shri Gajanan again and again. Shri Maharaj did not go to Adhyay and returned to Shegaon with Bhaskar. May this Gajanan Vijay epic composed by Das Guru be an ideal guide to devotees to understand the greatness of a real saint. Shubham Bhavatu. Here ends chapter 5. Swami Samasta Gurnath Shri Gajanan Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Gajanan.